Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Valentine's week day 4. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cole, I love makeup, colour, and you're joining us in Valentine's week. Today we're going to be using the Huda Beauty Icy Nude palette to create a really smoky, sultry Valentine's Day look. I mentioned this one in my haul a couple of weeks ago and a couple of you said you'd like to see me use it, so that's what we're going to do today. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to use some of my Beauty Bay eye base in shade number 2. Okie dokie, I want to make this quite dark and sultry today, so we are going to start off with Morphe M332, and I'm going to start off with the shade High Life, which is this one here. I'm just going to pop that through the crease. We're going to do a very traditional shape today, no kind of crazy winging out or anything like that. I want to make this kind of as easy and as smoky as possible. And the shimmers in this palette are just absolutely breathtaking. Like, honestly, the fact that this could potentially be Huda's last big palette is it saddens me to my core, because for me, apart from the little 9-pan pastel obsession she brought out, none of the other 9 pans have ever been the kind of big palette quality in my eyes. I think the only one I don't have from the big palettes is the first one she brought out that she then reformulated. Was it Desert Dusk, maybe? I don't have that one, and I don't have Rose Quartz, but I have Grunge, I have Naughty Nudes, and I have Mercury Retrograde, which is still one of my favourite palettes of all time. And they're just so good, and it just makes me really sad. And I have honestly always kind of regretted not picking up Rose Quartz, because it looks like it would pair beautifully with Mercury Retrograde. Okay, so we have that High Life shade in the crease. I'm just going to use one self, which is this kind of grey tone here. And we're just going to use this to buff out the edges. Make sure it's all nice and diffused. That is like my top tip for like a smoky eye, is just making sure everything is super diffused before you go in with the next layer. I personally prefer doing it light to dark. Some people prefer dark to light, but I find this way you've just got a little bit more control. Okay, so that is nice and diffused out. We are next going to go in with Faux Fur, which is this one here. We're going to stick with that Morphe 332. And we're going to start building this up in the crease. We're not going to blend this out as high as that High Life shade. We're going to try and focus this more like directly in the crease. And this is a really nice cool toned brown. It's great for giving some really heavy definition. And I'm just going back in to soften anything that I feel like is a little bit too harsh with High Life. Right, okay, so that is the crease all built up. I think what I'm actually going to do, so we can really showcase a couple of these shimmers, is do a halo eye. And I always think these are a nice, easy way to make it look like you have kind of put in a little bit more effort. So we're going to take She Rich, which is the darkest shade in the palette. It's a very, deep grey toned brown. And I'm going to use a P. Louise E71. I really like this kind of fluffy blending shape for a halo eye. It makes them slightly less harsh and kind of blends a little bit into that negative space, which I really like. Just gives it a little bit more to play with. Just, as you can see, it just diffuses it really, really nicely. I really like this brush, like, just in general, but for this, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so that is our inner and outer corners down. I'm just going to take a P. Louise E30. We're going to go back in with that one self shade. I just want to clean up a little bit of this. There's a couple of bits that I just don't think are quite diffused enough. Specifically on everybody's least favourite eye, the left one. That looks less harsh. Right, okay, we're going to take my favourite cut crease brush. You will know this if you're a regular. This is the C1 from P. Louise. I think this is actually like meant to be like a actual brush to cut the crease with, but I love it for my shimmers. We are going to take, I think we're going to do Platinum, which is this beautiful silver here. Absolutely stunning shade. These metallics are so metallic, and I'm going to put this on the edges, and we're going to leave that middle free. Just putting that on the edges. That is with no spray, literally like a couple of pats in the shadow. They're just absolutely stunning, so vibrant. If you want like a very, very like high metallic shimmer, this palette is for you. Okay, and then we're going to go in with Iced Out, which is like a white with a pinky reflect. We're going to take this, we're going to put it in the middle. But I do also like to kind of take this up and kind of make it look a bit more diffused across and through the crease, if that makes sense. So we're just popping it in the middle. And then I like to take it up like to the brow bone as well through the crease, just to kind of give it that more, yeah, it's like a diffused, kind of glowy, glitzy glam, smoky eye. Right, we are, if I can find it, is it you? Yes, we're going to go back in with the 71, back in with She's Rich, which is that darkest shade, and we're just going to make sure that these shades are not completely covered up by the sparkle and that they've got the depth that we want, just to blend them a little tiny bit like so. Right, okay, for the face we're going to do the iconic Underglow Blurring Primer. This is in my Project 25, but honestly I don't know whether you can see. I'm not sure it's going to make it to 25 uses. We're getting very, very empty. I have also got a touch of the Smashbox oil, primer oil on. Not that they sell it anymore. I was really upset when Smashbox pulled out the UK, because I was like, I'm going to have to order the primer oil from America and get it shipped over here. And then they went, hola shit. We're going to discontinue it. So, yeah. Anybody's got any primer oil recommendations, especially ones I can get easily in the UK, let me know, because your girl loves a primer oil. Right, I think what I want to do today is a pink under eye. We've not done one in forever. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of MAC Face and Body. We're going to use a Lorac Pro 19 for this. I really like this brush. I feel like the Lorac brushes are very underrated. They're very affordable and really lovely. Oh, I've just dripped a shit load of foundation on my trousers. Oh, that's bad. That is bad. I've literally got 4 looks to film today for Valentine's week, and I'm like, well, I'm spilling foundation on my trousers after look number 1, so doesn't exactly bode well. Probably should use a mirror also. Just a thought. I mean, to be fair, it's face and body, it doesn't need a mirror. Like just blending that in. Yeah. Right, okay, for the pink under eye, we're going to do a touch of the Bare Face collection from Unicorn Cosmetics. This is Bare Tease, and I'm literally going to put this right in the inner corner. As you can see, it's very pink. And then, as usual, we're going to use Urban Decay Naked. Because one day I will finish this. I thought there was barely anything left in this concealer, but once again, I was wrong. Okay, so we're just going to blend. What I like to do when I do a pink under eye, I like to do a lot of the blending of the outer concealer before I go in the middle and kind of mix that pink in. It feels like such a long time since I've done a pink under eye. And if you've been around for a while, you'll know I was obsessed for a little while. Like, really obsessed. Okay, it's not quite as pink as I want it to be, so everybody's gonna be like, you are insane. This is the Made by Mitchell Living in Pink mini blush book, and we're gonna use Sugar Cube, which is this one here, to set my under eyes. I'm going to use a Spectrum and Casey & Hughes number 4. It's nice, kind of like diffusing brush, so I'm not putting too much of that pigment down. And we're just going to set with this. And then I am going to go over with the loose Jordanna Ticia Flossie powder. This is my favourite, like, pressed and loose pink powder duo. Again, we're going to use that number 4 brush. And we're just going to use that to kind of re-brighten on top of the pink, if that makes sense. Okay, I want to do a bit of a soft bronze, so we're going to do Laura Mercier Tinted Bronzer in the shade Sundrop. Now this is quite light. I'm going to use a classic Real Techniques contour brush. This is quite light, so we are going to put some bronzer over the top of it, but I don't want anything too harsh, because we are going to do a bright lip, which I'm excited about. And then for bronzer, instead of going with my Beauty Bay Donut from my Project Pan, I'm going to use my Project 25 bronzer, which is Dior Tan Bronze. This one is just a bit lighter in pigment, basically, than the Beauty Bay. Okay, blush wise. Blush wise, we're going to do NARS Dominant, which I just think will tie in that pink under eye really nicely. And we're going to go quite heavy with this. And highlighter, we're just going to use something pinky toned. I just happen to be using MAC Let It Glow for my Project 25 currently, so we're going to use this. It's just like a frosty white with a pink reflect. You can get similar. There's a very similar shade in the Glisten Shapeshifter palette. I've got a Maybelline one that's quite similar. And we are going to do a little bit on the end of the nose, but not that much, because that is too much. Okay, brow wise, we are going to do Anastasia Brow Wiz. And then we're going to do Kosas Brow, which I don't think I will ever finish. But there we go. We'll keep panning it. We'll keep panning it. So Kosas Brow. Okay, let's do the under eyes. Move my brushes back over here. We're going to take a little kind of stubby brush from P. Louise. This is the 25. It's like a little stubby blending brush. And I want to go in with IDGAF. And we're going to put this under the eye so we can blend the deeper colour we're going to put on underneath. But this is just to kind of make the lower lash line pop a little bit and sort of add any lightness to that under eye that perhaps the pink is just kind of like losing at the moment. Okay, and then we're going to go in with Faux Fur, which is that kind of medium brown that we used. I just want to smoke this out lightly. I don't want to go too dark with this. You'll know I love a smoky lash line, but I don't want to go too dark with this one. Okay, that is that. We are going to do that same shade we used on the middle of the lid in the inner corner. This is Iced Out. This is a Morphe H205. This was from like a summer collection. We're just going to pop Iced Out in the inner corner. Obviously bringing it down to where our lower lash line shade starts. Okay, that is that. Right, I am going to go put some glue on these eyelashes. Okay, while we're waiting for that lash glue to dry, we're going to do some lip liner. This is MAC Candy Yum Yum. I think you can still get this shade, but I will link it down below if you can. Okay, now with MAC changing their line round, I'm not gonna lie, don't know whether you can get this shade anymore. This is Breathing Fire, and it's a gorgeous like deep pink. I love this shade so much. Not so great for making your teeth look white, but looks incredible. Right, let's pop these lashes on and then we're done. Okay, that is the look for Valentine's week day 4. I love this one. You could definitely like switch out the bright pink lip for something more subtle. You could do a little less shimmer, a little like less in the inner corner. You could use the baby pink in the inner corner. I think it would definitely like tone this look down a little bit. So like use this in the inner corner. I love this look. I love this palette. I think it's absolutely stunning. If you were on the fence as to whether you think you should buy it or not, what it's like, would highly recommend. If you did enjoy this look, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you next time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.